Targaryen dragon has white scales and purple eyes, and only people with Targaryen blood ties are capable of flying a dragon!
I wonder what you look like with no skin.
Took his sword, only to sever his head from the tip.
Winter is coming.
Future from the House of Atlanta informed Jay-Z Lannister that he and his men indeed ambushed the Stark family.
Are they dead yet?
Assisted by the help of one Sir Lucian Frey. Frey reneged on his hospitality in the same manner the Starks reneged on their pledge of loyalty, allegiance, and marriage. So what's good for the goose is damn sure good enough for the gander.
It's so upsetting, so I just keep on sipping, stepping over bodies one by one. Oh, I remember you feel the word and have a little I was told to stick it in and twist it. Saw all them organs inside you blow and go ballistic. When I'm waging war, I'm the general. Many men, minimal.
Future from the House of Atlanta was handsomely paid for his treacherous act. He wasn't wrong for murdering a woman and her children, at least not in his eyes.
I'm Hobie, I'm backwards rapping the bougie. I make blueprints of blue ivy, then go Ivy League in my jacuzzi. Mooney, like Monet, I'd have been in each every country, continent. My time is spent making nigga more money, more money, more. I'm bankrupt by all forms of the word. There just ain't enough time to say, fuck what you heard. Only know real niggas and nerds, 25 cents soda pop on the curb. I gave black folks just what they deserve. I'm on my word. Scarface out in the suburbs, I'm balling. When I was balling, I knelt down and no stalling. Made a few deals and gave you Kendrick, not just Rollins. Balling on the court, I passed the ball to Spalding. Dip get out the way, Cavity and Kanye retro. My weapons are chromium plated metals. I got niggas who would die for me, just who would lie for me. I was destined to have a dynasty, blessed in blue ivy. Colored chisel as I autograph my schism. I'm the light that they locate inside a prism. I'm pushing lines like the Hayfield prison. I got that state property behind me. I do the dash, now my money keep count.
His Grace expected that after word about the Red Wedding spread, that there would most likely be a response from the Stark family. However, he didn't expect the dragon outbreak would arrive at the same moment, giving specks and pieces of Stark rebellion the upper hand on the eastern coast.
It's been 24 hours since the dragons have been attacking, my lord.
Jay-Z Lannister has future Omega reach out to Beyoncé Targaryen in hopes of mending all his Dungeness dragon drama.
Targaryens will not kill fellow dragons.
If we don't stop these dragons soon, it won't be a city to live in.
Okay, now we got a deal.
There is only one thing we say to death. Not today, as I spin with a firm grip. Murder she wrote, it's like a whole sword as I'm keeping my own. I ain't nothing nice. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. The only true wisdom is...
Beyoncé Targaryen informed Jay-Z Lannister that he and his countrymen were caught right in the middle of a dragon civil war. The dragon known as El Poo Loco, the Wingless dragon, he had been outcasted by his family for having been born with the abnormality of being a dragon with no wings. Poyo was ostracized and forced to live in the underwater, sectored off from the rest of the dragon population. Poyo's fathers had Poyo locked away because secretly he felt that Poyo was more than an informality. He was a reminder, a constant reminder of infidelity. And that was too much for the dragon whom was not his father to bear. Rumor Targaryen stomped off the battlefield after being bested by the giant dragon. It would require one more step for her to join her sisters. She would need to ride or remove the head of the wingless creature. That was the one thing keeping her from becoming a knight and a child of destiny. Beyoncé Targaryen's Children of Destiny entered Jay-Z Lannister's domain and began processing a plan of action. They gathered up the dragons they could muster up like the dragons were lost sheep.
I'm with you!
They herded
The
them,
blood won't stop!
killed some,
Hold on!
and then cleaned up all their wounds. Not one to let a sweet travesty go to waste.
Walk the plank in the name of Rihanna Greyjoy, you bastard.
Rihanna Greyjoy sailed 2 boats worth of men over and snuck into Jay-Z Lannister's territory to see exactly what they could take,
Hold, thief! That's the
steal,
king's food!
pillage,
No, please!
and
I was
plunder.
starving! You'll pay for this!
Right underneath the watchful eye of his grace. Brienne of Tarth noticed the pirate woman and questioned, why wasn't she at home, tending to her family? Rihanna Greyjoy spun, wielding her katana named Michonne. She looked the lone knight in her face and whispered, "We do not so." Rihanna Greyjoy snatched up a straggling dragon, only to add insult to injury. She put the broiler treatment on Brienne from Tarth. Oh my goodness.
Declare in your name, I will seek revenge on that God-forsaken Greyjoy!
The pirate women hurriedly crawled throughout the streets and snatched bread and corn. Some found scraps of bird, but most only found red onions and water. But pirate be? What pirate be? And a pirate would steal whatever isn't nailed down. These were Greyjoys, and they took joy, literally.
Eat freaking.
While the Lady of Rage searched the sky for Rihanna Greyjoy was in the midst of finding her soulmate.
What's your name?
Rihanna Greyjoy, whom thought that she was no more than a pirate, had come to find out that day that she was much more. She asked the dragon what was his name. When he said Pollo, Pirate Greyjoy didn't approve. She said, "From this day forward, your name is Apollo." Pirate Greyjoy mounted the massive dragon, and they were off. She knew exactly where to go. The problem would just be getting there. Knowing she'd be hung for assaulting a knight, Rihanna Greyjoy was off to Lizardland to lay low. The Lady of Rage, still distraught after the death of Brienne of Tarth, finally had just about enough of not tasting any pirate's blood.
On the land of lizards. You must kill her and return the Valarian blade to restore your honor!
Purebred dragons were white, and mixed breeds carried an olive or umber hue. The townsfolk saw the Lady of Rage swoop in on an inbred dragon. Rage had heard word that the pirate had been seen at the local pub down by the dock. She wasn't there, though. Pirate Greyjoy was on the road, and she was on fire. After a few side quests with Apollo the Dragon, Rihanna Greyjoy slips off the massive dragon and they both slip and slide. One going one way, and her sliding down in the opposite direction. As Rihanna slid, she eventually ran into something that was much more than a woman.
My lizard needs a home. Will you take it? Behold my domain. All that you see is mine.
Chase me, dragon. I'm sliding on my lizard like chicken fingers gizzard. I'm riding with my tail wagging. Wherefore art thou? My lizard tail sail in the wind. I'm a one-of-one gem. Scholar stand a dead body. Oh, that's him. Let me switch my brim.
Pirate! This swamp will be the last place you sleep.
Don't ignore me, the last mad citizen. Targaryen blood, riding dragons through horizons. Blaze like a fire, Targaryen. Swing my sword, Targaryen.
The air and the streets were thick with Lannister's royal guards, trying to put an end to the double dragon drama epidemic. As Lannister guards began to ransack Lizardland, they were there to kill any dragon eggs, babies,
With this Valyrian
or
steel,
hatchlings.
we will conquer.
They were to wait for reinforcements if
guide
they
our
ran
path.
into oversized dragons.
Forward to victory!
Lady of Rage was not there for no dragon. She arranged the whole situation so she could search Lizardland for a good-for-nothing, low-down lizard named Rihanna Greyjoy.
He could hardly breathe. All we heard was a hum or something. Ever since.
If the dragon burns you down, baby, I'll be right there with ya.
Swing my sword.
Your armor won't save you. Feel the serpent's embrace.
And while Lannister guards and Targaryen dragon riders tended to what they thought was just a few hungry dragons, little did they know that a few hungry dragons were hiding within the mist of dragons looking to kill their brother, the dragon, with no wings.
Pirate Greyjoy was taken aback when she saw those two afro puffs protruding from the side of the knight's silver helmets. The knights had put the pirate in position that she wasn't used to being in, and that position was giving up the booty. When one knight slipped up and dropped down in the swamp, the Lady of Rage knew it was all on her to retrieve Brienne of Tarth's sword, Oathkeeper. Pirate Greyjoy was from the old ways, and to get some booty, you gotta give some booty. And for whatever odd reason or another, Targaryen were fighting Greyjoys. Greyjoys were fighting Lannisters. Dragonblood was going against its own pack. West of the Rose on Lizard Island, Pirate Greyjoy, she was fighting for control. For she knew Lizardland was a place worth fighting for. Will Pirate Greyjoy take over Lizardland? Will the Targaryens accept Pirate Greyjoy? Like, comment, and subscribe. Who would you like to see make a cameo west of the Rose?